Hello, everyone. So, welcome to the day in which people scrutinize the media more often than they used to. Of course, I mean April Fool's Day. I had a hard time picking a topic for today's video until I found something in the worst games journalism website Kotaku on bigotry. So, let's talk about r/gaming today, because oh boy did they reach far for their virtue. Our source for this is obviously Kotaku. Video game news subreddit closes for 24 hours to protest bigotry. Oh, really? Last night, r/games, a subreddit with 1.7 million subscribers, announced it would be closing on April Fool's Day to shed light on the bigotry in the online gaming community. Oh, I can't imagine this is going to be anything more than people who don't like getting called mean words. Not April Fools, the post begins. It continues, "This April Fools, we decided to take things a little more seriously and shed some light on a growing, pervasive issue that has affected the community of r/games and gaming communities as a whole. Though certain memes, such as Gamers Rise Up, surrounding gaming are largely viewed as a humorous interpretation of a mindset, at the core of the humor is a set of very serious issues that affect all gaming enthusiasts. By showing disdain or outright rejecting minority and marginalized communities, we become more insular. In this, we lose out on the chance to not only show compassion to these people, but also the chance to grow our own community and diversify the demographics of those involved in it. Whether it's misogyny, transphobia, homophobia, racism, or a host of other discriminatory practices. Now is the time to stymie the flow of regressive ideas and prevent them from ever becoming the norm." Allow me to now take the time to rip this apart. You are taking a day in which people actively joke to tell everyone how much of a joke discrimination in gaming isn't. I cannot imagine it's gone well so far. Now, something got to me about this post, and it seems too small to be a Reddit moderator's pedestal. So, of course, I went to Reddit and oh my god, they wrote a fucking book. Where the post listed by Kotaku leaves off, it continues. At r/games, our community is becoming increasingly responsible for perpetuating a significant amount of these combative and derogatory schools of thought. We remove those comments, we ban the perpetrators, but the issue still persists at a fundamental level. The notion that it's okay or acceptable to ridicule and demonize traditionally disenfranchised and marginalized members of the gaming community, this is not just an issue in r/games or on Reddit alone. This is an issue deeply embedded in the ranging depths of the internet, frequently in communities that center around the discussion of games. It sounds like a fucking gaming journalist, doesn't it? Okay, so no, it's not r/games that perpetuates schools of thought. Individuals who utilize your service push certain ideas. It will become more apparent what they mean in a moment. The issue does not exist in a fundamental level, because what you, the moderator, see as a problem is not truly that. It is exactly that one is able to make fun of groups of people, whether they be disenfranchised, marginalized, or otherwise. That's the point of the joke. So then you hit the nail on the head. This is a problem that is pervasive in communities about and centered around games. So before we go into your examples of bigotry, allow me to explain something to you very quick. Gaming is a beautiful thing. In fact, it is far deeper than you may imagine. The idea of human beings at play is a fundamental idea in psychology that explains how young children learn, whether that be as young as 1 or 2 years old when mommy and daddy play peekaboo, or 5 years old when we first try and play tag with friends at kindergarten. We establish hierarchies. Human beings understand and explore our world through what we would call games. So, your commentary about how bigotry especially exists in communities surrounding games is imprecise. If you had said video games, you may have had more of a point. But let's go through your examples before I tear into the stupidity of essentially gamergating Reddit. Unfortunately, this inflammatory content is not an infrequent occurrence. The condescending, dismissive, vindictive, and pessimistic attitudes we see in our day-to-day activity is troubling, especially when those interactions involve harassing or outright targeting regularly discriminated communities. It's not uncommon for us to see the real issues surrounding these communities be trivialized, derided out of ignorance, or worse, for the sake of entertainment. For fuck's sake, Mod, you sound like a grade school teacher. No, 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 class, you may not be mean to one another. Look, man, if I want to make a joke and say I should go pound a few Tide Pods and wash it down with some bleach, yes, it's fucked up, yes, it's a joke, yes, it's about suicide, but that's the meme culture. You're on Reddit, for fuck's sake. Where do you think a majority of memes that are, normie come from? You. To that end, we want to show you, the community, what we mean by what we see. These are some of the more awful comments we see regarding transphobia, homophobia, Islamophobia, racism, misogyny, pro-pedophilia/pro R-word, and vitriolic personal attacks against other users. These kinds of comments occur on a daily basis. We've compiled an entire album of examples of the horrible things people say on this subreddit. From bigotry to vitriol, this album merely scratches the surface of the magnitude of the problem.
Contain the calamity that is your memories.
Alright, let's go. Let's pull out transphobic, misogyny, and pro-pedo as our examples. Those are both hot-button issues, right? An absolute disgusting act. Complete waste of funds. As a medical professional, promoting transgenderism, a mental illness, as normal is sickening. Hopefully a paradigm shift is on the horizon and this never becomes fully accepted. Edit. Fuck the mods, fuck the mods, fuck the mods, fuck the mods. Edit. Your downvotes don't change facts. Edit 2. Cute that all of you are so triggered over a comment on the internet. Transgenderism is a mental illness, always will be, and it will never be widely accepted, no matter how much crying and downvoting and commenting you do on an internet gaming forum. Smiley face. Bravo, bravo commenter, bravo. That is exactly how we troll individuals. Now, whether or not they appreciate it, that's a different story. But my first question is, why is this topping on a gaming forum? Moreover, he's not entirely wrong, because as reported by the Daily Wire, former Johns Hopkins chief of psychiatry, Paul McHugh, made headlines in June when he declared that those who enable the mental illness of transgenderism are collaborating with madness. He also vehemently warned against sex reassignment surgery in particular, and to just key in on that if sex and gender are a social construct. What makes being the other gender relevant in the slightest if male and female are simply self-expression? Ponder that. Next, misogyny. Kotaku reporter Cecilia D. Anastasio wins the Digital News Award at the annual Writers Guild of America Awards for her story about sexism at Riot Games. Oh gee, a woman winning an award in the age of pro-feminist or die. What a surprise. Cecilia D. Anastasio. Where have I heard that name before? Oh, would you look at that? Weird. Also, I want to point out, this is simply an observation laced with cynicism. This is not blatant anger or hatred towards women. Okay, for this one, let me go piece by piece because this is part of a larger fucking issue. I'm clearly talking about video games, but sure, leap to that conclusion. You pixel people are so fucking annoying. Just make a school shooting simulator game, it's just pixels. Accurate. Make a game about raping newborn babies, it's just pixels. Kinda weird. Actually a lot weird. Make a game you play as a Nazi and gas Jews, who cares, it's just pixels. I do play Caustic. I wish you people would stop with your shit logic and stop getting mad at companies that don't want these weird pervert games with the entire focus of the title on being a pervert. When it affects actual games like Catherine, that's when I care. When it's to stop this weirdo trash, I hope it keeps going. So the first comment is actually talking about censorship, going above and beyond, and in truth, hitting the right points, except for the end. You can't be selectively censorious. That makes you a hypocrite. Low-key confirming you think it's fun to look at almost nude characters that look like they are 12 to 15. I remarked about this on another video. Doesn't matter if they look like they're 12 to 15 if they're not. That's why we have petite actresses in the porn industry. It's a genre. It's a fetish. Deal with it. Fuck low-key, I'll full-on confirm it for you. Then again, I can distinguish reality from fiction. There you go. That fucking comment. Good job. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's basically admitting to liking lollies, but like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It's a fucking game! But then he hits it. I can distinguish reality from fiction, which is the major problem with people on these kinds of boards. The ones that want to censor games because they personally find that their content is not acceptable. because they're unhinged, because they can't distinguish reality from fiction. So I think that's enough. A day after they did this, so right around now, they should be holding an AMA of sorts to answer questions about this experiment. I imagine it's a firestorm. But that's all I'm going to talk about today. Let me know what you thought down below. All links, as always, are in the description. Be sure to like and share the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all soon.